guys, Emmy is going to be the name of our first ever emerald block in the world. There were so many suggestions, it was almost unanimous. So I like the name Emmy, it's cute. It's kind of like a little bit prestigious in the sense of like the award that is an Emmy, obviously short for emerald. We're snowing as per usual in my world. It snows like damn near every day, and emerald. Emmy is the name we're going with. Here we are in the snow, guys. I personally hate the snow because it looks terrible with the bitrate. Either my videos have to be like a billion gigs, or it looks bad because all of the little pixels. But speaking of the snow, I finally have access to torches as of the previous episode, which prevent snow layers for the most part. And that makes these areas not only safe during the night, even though they're viable spawning locations, but also without the snow layer, wandering traders can spawn here. So the idea right now is to double this up on the other side of the Church of the Lightning Stone, and to then, once we've done that, we want to be operating in this area, giving wandering traders the opportunity to spawn. And by operating, I mean creating farms which generate a lot of emeralds, which includes, of course, the iron farm today. We're going to be building the iron farm, and any other kind of semi-automatic or automatic farm where I would love to be able to just do some fishing here, maybe run over, kill some spiders for some spider silk to trade with traders, and while iron is being generated, and so on. But before we do that, I want to do a little sort of experiment, which is to use this spider string from my little spider box here, and we're going to try to spawn proof, and by that I mean stop snow layers from spawning on our trees on top of our little grove here, because I don't want the foxes and things. I want full control over the world as it goes on, and I want to see if that's a good solution to preventing foxes from spawning. I'm really happy, guys. Look at this. It looks great. You can hardly even notice there's any string there. I do have some snow like trapped in a certain area I want to fix up, but yeah, we went through a couple hundred string, but I would consider that a pretty good solution for this problem. Alright guys, a lot of you guys were giving me grief over still using wooden tools, considering I've had the villagers available for a while now. So let's go ahead and use our stone axe, guys. It's been 1200 days in the world, and I've never really had the luxury of using superior tools than wood. Oh my gosh, the difference is so noticeable. That's crazy. That feels so good. I did want to say in my defense, guys, the only real tool that's important to me at this moment is an axe. So think about hoeing, tilling land. Like, you know, the wood is fine. I don't really use a pick either. The second most important thing at the moment would be the sword, the weapons. But at the same time, like, I haven't been farming mobs, so I just wanted to throw that out there. But we're definitely going to be using stone and iron going forward into the future, and diamond is just around the corner too. So having built up the other side of the church on the west side, guys, I was lighting for the same reason, right? Working on lighting to prevent the snow, and boom, do you see that? Slimes. Now, this chunk, the slime chunk, is actually much more nicely placed here. Perfect for like a nice situated farm in this position. Unlike the slime chunk that I found on the other side of the church, I like this much more tucked right up against the aqueducts. So I'm going to have to half slab it to prevent them from spawning, but that's where I'm going to work in a little slime farm here for the future. Guys, this is an exact replica of the principle, the mechanics behind my Iron Golem farm in my world. I kind of figured this stuff out for myself. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm sure Iron Golem farms are old news for most people here in the Minecraft community. It's kind of new territory for me because I'm a bit of a noob, and I thoroughly understand how it works now. The villagers need to rest or they will stop spawning golems after a day. Now, in order to have a fully automatic farm, like mine, you need to have the villagers self-autonomously rest. They need to periodically rest so that they can keep summoning Iron Golems after a day has passed. So the rules, I think you need multiple villagers, maybe 3, but I'm not sure about that. But they definitely need jobs. So we can see we've got the smithing block here. We've got a viable spawning location for the golem. You want to try to spawn-proof most other blocks to help them spawn in the appropriate location. And of course, you attach a kill system here, which is self-explanatory. I think most people understand that. As the villagers lay down in their bed, they make eye contact with the zombie, which then makes them panic and of course summons a golem. As they panic, they run around frantically, and 33% of the viable locations that they can walk on actually breaks eye contact with the zombie. Do you see that? How their head is elevated above this block here, preventing line of sight, which therefore calms them down, and they lay back down in the bed and then rinse and repeat. So the fact that they are self-autonomously laying in their bed is what makes this a perfectly fully automatic system, which I'm nice and happy with. If you look closely at the right side of the screen, you might see a little anomaly there. That's right, guys, cat lovers rejoice. I have cats. As of something about the villagers here, the interaction with the zombie, I don't know what does it specifically, but cats seem to be abundant in the village now. And these were the first 2 that I found, a ginger cat and this one that's sort of spotted ginger, black, white, and grey or something. Go ahead and name these cats, guys, if you like them, because these are going to be our cats for now, even though there's a lot around the township. But that's not all, because of course a wandering trader spawned here. I got it on footage here, and of course we're looking for certain trades, and boom, that's one of the big ones right there, guys, sugarcane. So the composition of my world doing the trick. It's exactly what I want, is wandering traders to spawn around these spawnable areas while I'm working, and sugarcane means access to cartography, guys. In the future we're going to be working with that. a cartography area and more trades available with the villagers. Needless to say, with the addition of my functioning Iron Golem farm, I'm able to play around with all kinds of iron goodies, including obviously tools, anvils, making more smithing tables for as many traders as I want, but also trapdoors, fences, lanterns, guys, really exciting stuff. As I was going around prettifying with my new iron, guys, I saw another wandering trader, and this one had moss. Let's go. Do you know what that means? That means, of course, I can turn it into more soil, dirt, or grass blocks. And I have the perfect thing in mind that I want to do with my new moss blocks. We're going to do something that I'm super looking forward to. Check this out. This is one of the only Silk Touch enchantments I've obtained in the entire game. If you guys harken all the way back to one of my videos, I did get one so early when I didn't even have wood or a chest to put them in or anything like that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some iron from our Iron Golem farm. Going to make another iron shovel. And we're going to go to our anvil. Boom. That nice juicy Silk Touch. Full durability. Now, let's go ahead and get some dirt, guys. And some dirt equals some grass. I'm super hyped. A bone meal. There we go. And then cut down this wood, and there you go. There's the wood block. Sorry, the dirt block, I meant to say. If we go ahead and hoe it. I don't know what the roots actually do, guys. I have some hanging roots from way back in the day. Cool. And now we're going to spread Arnold's hair and Silk Touch this grass over to... Yeah, I think for now, it's the sheep that I'm most interested in. But how cool is that, guys? That's so cool. This game's actually so fun when the Wandering Trader gives you nice rewards and stuff. Yet again, another dirt block. Epic. Hey, there we go. Right as I went AFK. Finally. Let's go. This is the first grass block that I've ever put into my inventory. Cool, let's go. Guys, as you know, I'm from New Zealand, and what that basically means is that I am one with the sheep, and I'm about to create the most elaborate, sophisticated build that you've ever seen in your life. No exaggeration. Alright, now keep in mind, if we take a look, guys, everything outside of these blocks is wood or whatever, void. It's just to sort of symbolize that the grass won't grow inwards. If we have a little posty post right here, this prevents any sheep from actually nibbling on that grass, and therefore it will never disappear. And meanwhile, if you see this formation of 9 posts, with each having a space, the sheep cannot actually escape. And if I go ahead and try to push them around to demonstrate that, you can see they're too fat. And so each sheep has its own dedicated grass block that it is on top of. And yeah, as just being sarcastic earlier, it's actually a slow process. But trust me, guys, coming from where I've been, I mean, I really just want to benefit from that nice passive semi-automatic build, right? I want to spend my time fishing or culling the spiders while the iron is generating, and what I want to do is just come do a drive-by after a certain amount of time has passed. They should eat the grass, and then the grass will eventually renew itself. So even if it takes 5 minutes on average or 10 minutes on average, it is something that is just nice and semi-automatic. As you can see, we got this plus time means renewable wool. Here we are with the finalized version of the sheep barn, the wool barn, and I made these little booths, and as I have a weaver with these little weaving blocks, and I'm really happy with their trades, so certain things I want is obviously wool into emeralds, shears, and the big one really is red dye, because I get abundance of poppies from my iron farm, and yeah, when I have a bunch of good villagers, I want to put them in these booths once I'm satisfied with them. And otherwise, we've got the nice storage on the other side. It looks really clean. I'm really happy. And for each one of my little sections, my areas, I would like a dedicated like trapping system. It's not a nice way to think about it, but I don't want the villagers to roam around freely. And it's because I put down a bed there, guys, which grouped them all up. This is a little bit of insight as to what like the last 50 hours of Minecraft have been like. Yeah, it gets really annoying. It gets really old really quick. So, for example, in my little fishing area here, I've done a similar thing. I don't like how they're all congested here, and I think I'm gonna basically push this gate inwards and have a bunch of nice villages just lined up here, tucked behind the fishermen here with their barrels, as long as they have the good trades in the same fashion. But I'd like each section to be nice and clean like that, so that there's not villages just everywhere. I don't mind having a few roaming villages, but having tons of them roam everywhere and be so noisy is driving me insane! As you guys know, the absolute vast majority of the world is built out of wood, guys, ever since wood became sustainable. And what that means, however, is that I have to put down at the time, my one dedicated dirt block, and then I have to put down whatever tree it is that I wish to grow, whether it's acacia or oak, and then I would bone meal it. What I would find is that because of all of the leaves and stuff, the next tree, if I tried to do it in the same spot, would actually not be as easy to grow, and I'd blow through my bone meal. So in order to be more productive, I would then basically pick up my block and then go to another location and rinse and repeat. And that was for every single tree that I've ever harvested. It's actually a lot more tedious than basically just throwing down a bunch of saplings and then harvesting them. And recently, I actually got a pale moss. I'm going to show some more traders off here in a second, but a trader had a pale moss trade, meaning that I have even more dirt and soil, and this is what I have chosen to do with it. Oh my gosh! Do you ever... It's just the simple things in life, dude. I have plots, guys. This feels so good. Alongside my faster tools, we should use an iron axe. I've been trying to accumulate iron to make blocks out of it and stuff, but there's no reason not to. Oh my gosh, guys, I can't tell you how satisfying that actually feels. Anything that I had to do previously in the world would be a grind. Any build that I wanted to make, I would literally grind, in some cases, hours in order to obtain enough blocks, and it wasn't like a pleasant grind, manually one by one placing them down. That feels so much better, and I might reorganize this a little bit, but I am going to have dedicated wood growing blocks, so to speak, plots in the future, which is so cool. So that moves on to our next thing, guys, which is this chest here. This chest is actually all of the little goodies that, apart from the ones that I'm using, that I have accumulated throughout the course of these last 100 or so days, couple hundred days. Oh my gosh, dark oak, acacia sapling. I don't even know what an open eye blossom is, guys. More glowstone. Oh my gosh, this is the best wandering trader ever. I need to stack up on emeralds really quickly. That's right, that was the most recent and perhaps the most significant trader in a long time, due to the fact that it gave me dark oak in particular, guys, but also basically I have 3 various kinds of wood now and tree. I obtained pale moss, like I said, which is more dirt blocks we've been using, a decent amount of glowstone. I think coral, the only way that I can obtain it is through traders, so I'm accumulating some of that. A lot of plants. I don't even know what open eye blossom does. These are the leads and leather, which are both valuable from the llamas that I've destroyed. A lot of plants, obviously sugarcane, really important. Beetroot, interesting because otherwise, basically I need a lot of dirt, and then I'd be excited about growing a lot of different crops. But I'd really like to obtain pumpkins, because then we can make jack-o'-lanterns. That would be a great light source to hide under chests and things. But yeah, guys, this is all of the goodies. I got vines, which is renewable, and this allows us to have various routes of sort of expanding the world, working towards cartography as an example. Really, really exciting stuff, but I wanted to show that off there. And speaking of showing off, guys, it's time to showcase the current state of the world in its kind of final / current state. A lot of things will be tweaked and improved, and speaking of which, I've made this a little bit more slick, the center of the town. Even something like the road layout, guys, I've got it in my mind. I want to actually rework it. This stuff here in front of the Church of the Lightning Stone is all temporary. And I moved the bamboo over here, as you can see, because this is where I've been hanging out lately. Making an entrance, and I want basically a feel. I want to incentivize the kind of road, the pathing, to go through the church instead of running around every single time. So the whole layout is going to be reworked and improved. But in the meantime, let's look at the two major builds that I completed in this session, being the Iron Golem farm and the sheep barn. Absolutely thrilled, guys. I've never really enjoyed the game this much since perhaps ever. The poppies, absolutely juicy and valuable. Trading with the weavers inside of the barn. As you can see, I mentioned this already, I'm trying to kind of entrap each various type of villager. They've got their little booths here, and they need access to their own kind of workstation, which is something that I overlooked. The barn, guys, I really like the feel of it. I'm quite happy with it. I like the way that it's kind of like a blend from the industrial looking area to a kind of more rural area, which I'd like to have planting, growing plots and things, farming. Speaking of farming, we've got farmers over there, but I don't have much to do with them because I lack soil. I really like it. I really like the outside kind of feel that you have indoors. Very, very cool. Slowly but surely accumulating a lot of wool, guys, and I use the, as you can see, the looms to block these guys in. And this is where I'm getting most of my emeralds right now, which is semi-automatic with the poppies. I slept on the poppies. I thought they were just like a random bonus, but they're really good. They're free emeralds, while I, can accumulate the iron. Speaking of which, look at all this iron, guys. Tons and tons of iron. I'm trying to, we got miscellaneous iron here, tools. Probably don't need any of the stone tools anymore. I'm attached, guys. I've been using basic tools for like 1,000+ days. It's all going to be junk soon, but let me just do it in my own time. So I actually have access with a few of the higher level ones to various types of diamond. As you can see, it's all about getting the right type of villager. And over here, I've trimmed this down, so they're kind of trapped in here with access to this block. So this here, guys, sometimes what happens is the villages, we progress and they don't really have the type of trades that I want. And so basically, sometimes when a villager gets really old, guys, that's heaven down there. That's heaven. Yeah, that's villager heaven down there. And so anyways, give my barn a rating 1 out of 10, guys. Keep in mind that I have very limited resources, but I'm really happy with the build. It's so nice. I like it. And I'm just in love with my world overall right now. Alright, guys, general thoughts in regards to going into the future and plans that I have here. One is in terms of elevation. I feel like the world is pretty, at this one level, and the more that we can add elevation to the world in a nice way, like maybe boardwalk, that sort of thing, could be really cool, something I want to explore and play around with, as well as accessibility to the aqueduct, which right now I'm mostly hanging out here, but in the future the aqueduct is going to act as a transportation. And so this is just a very basic version here attached to the Iron Golem farm. But yeah, that's something that I want to improve on and very much consider. Lighting, on the topic of lighting, as you guys know, it's crucially important that I don't have to clean up the snow layers, and so wandering traders are spawning in these areas. But I don't like the way that it looks. So as we go from area to area and sort of completionist, kind of like you can see on the barn right now, I would really like to eliminate the look of just spammed torches everywhere and improve the lighting. This is the slime chunk. We're going to be building a slime farm here in the future, probably next episode. And the slime chunk, if I'm not mistaken, based on the location of my own person, I should be able to attract the slimes, and then they fall into a killing chamber of some kind, and we collect them with hoppers and so on. So I don't think you need to hit slimes for them to drop slime balls. So that could be a kind of semi-automatic farm or fully automatic based on my positioning. So I could AFK here while iron's being accumulated, the wool is growing, and we're accumulating slime blocks. That could be really, really cool. Otherwise, in the front of the Church of the Lightning Stone, the real front, I wanted to create like a sort of plaza area there. Very fancy, very nice aesthetic. Kind of like Versailles in France in real life, like a palace type of like courtyard. I think the more that we can access like leaves with our shares and iron fences and lanterns and things, we could do a really nice pretty project there. I want to talk about the trees everywhere, guys. I don't like the fact that I'm very limited with the passive mobs. I now have grass blocks available, as you guys know, and that means that potentially I have more locations, not just Arnold's Head, to actually spawn true passive mobs. But we currently have, so you can see even this is an issue here, guys. Growing my wood, and of course it has snow layers because it briefly snowed, which means that foxes are an issue. So one thing I want to do is go around and string up all of these trees, just like we did that there, which is a big project, and to basically eliminate the spawning. We want full control over the world, and that's going to mean that I'm going to need to have like an aviary sort of indoors area, again using trapdoors in the sky, where I want to grow my my forest for lumbering area. Otherwise, guys, I have a sort of small mini announcement, which is that for the first time ever in my world, I'm actually doing something, a little project, which I'm not showing off to you guys. So imagine back when I was basically on one block. If I did anything in the world, you would know about it. Yeah, and I actually have a little secret build which I'm really happy with. And if you guys want to know what that is, then you're going to have to watch and catch a future live stream. That's right, guys. Live streaming is coming back here to my channel. When I first dabbled in live streaming, building the monolith and stuff like that, guys, I only had wood tools. And between the prep for that stream to grind the wood and then to build the thing, I mean, I didn't even finish it, and it took like 3 hours of streaming, guys. And the interaction and stuff just distracts me and things. It was a pretty unpleasant experience. But now that I have access to superior tools, we're going to have iron, diamond, I'm actually going to be able to build things like quickly, which is just going to be so cool, and that's a huge thing for our world in terms of productivity, and I'm going to be willing to stream again. And if you guys are going to want to know what that little secret build that I've been working on is, you're going to have to tune into the streams. If you want a notification, guys, then join my Discord with the link down below so you don't miss out when it is that I'm going live. And that is it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching and your support. I appreciate you guys. Make sure to name our kitty cats, guys, and I'll see you in another episode.